The NHL schedule has been released, and that includes the Ducks' 82-game schedule. We'll talk about it on this edition of Locked On Anaheim Ducks.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, Jason J.D. Hernandez. I've been covering hockey for over a decade, and today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. So let's get right into it. The schedule has been released, and it's an interesting schedule this year because there isn't like an 8 or 9 or 10 game road trip. There is some of the same road trips that we've seen year after year, but there isn't any supremely long homestands. There also isn't any supremely long road trips either. So I guess you could take it or leave it with a Duck schedule on this one. I'm actually not going to talk about the schedule as is first because I noticed something. 25 of the 32 teams put out a schedule release video. The Ducks were not one of them. The Ducks in the past have put out some pretty solid schedule release videos, and I was kind of looking forward to see what the Ducks were going to do this year, but unfortunately there was no video, just a schedule release. And I was pretty sad about that. I mean, I remember the one from a few years back where it was just pictures or generic pictures with a little bit of like a funny twist. I mean, that's how we got the, mercury poisoning for the San Jose Sharks. That was a pretty awesome meme. That's how we got the leaf blowers meme. None of that this year. So I thought to myself, you have a podcast, right? Yeah. Why not make your own schedule release video? Just for the fun of it. Why not? So here we go. Here's some of the teams. I'm not going to do all 32 teams, but here are some of the teams that are on the schedule. And we're going to begin with game number 1 against the San Jose Sharks. Slacking for Macklin worked, baby. Yeah, let's go. The Sharks are so back. We got Macklin, Celebrini. We are ready to get out of the cellar. We are ready to go. Let's go, Sharks. The day after that, they take on the Vegas Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena. Yeah, that's right. Vegas owns the Ducks. Vegas has always owned the Ducks. We've got a cup. What do the Ducks have? Oh, wait, they have a cup too? I mean, we still have most of our team, right? We lost Marchessault? We're still going to kick their ass. The Ducks' home opener is Wednesday, October 16th against the Utah Yetis, no, hockey club, I guess. All right, we did it. Yeah, first Coyotes Ducks game of the season at the Ponds. I love it. Hey, wait a minute. What's that say on the front? That's not Arizona on the front. The first game of the Freeway Face-Off will take place at the Ponda on Sunday, October 20th. Wasted opportunities. The Kings could have made some better off-season moves, and they didn't. And talk about what a waste. This was right there. The purple and gold was right there. The black and white's not bad. I mean, our jerseys can't be as good as the Ducks rebrand, right? The Ducks' annual New York trip starts on the 26th, go through the 29th, where they take on the Rangers, the Devils, the Islanders, and then they finish on Halloween night? Yeah, Halloween night against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh God, I hope it's not another overtime against these guys. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, at least we still have Jeff Carter. Okay, at least we still have Sidney Crosby. All right, we got some guys. Hey, at least we got some championships. The annual Dia de los Muertos game is expected to take place on Sunday, November 3rd against the Chicago Blackhawks. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, the Blackhawks are so back. First, we took Connor Bedard from you last year, and this year, we took Artyom Levshunov from you. Let's go. 2 nights later, the Vancouver Canucks come into town to take on the Ducks at the Ponda. Hey, Vancouver is so back. I mean, still 0 cups, but it's got to come soon, right? Vancouver's got to get a cup at some point, right? Right? Further down the line, the Ducks' Canadian road trip takes place starting on December 9th, where they take on the Montreal Canadiens. C'est bon. C'est bon. Nous avons 24 Coupes Stanley. C'est bon. 2 nights later, they take on Ottawa, and then on Thursday the 12th, they visit the Toronto Maple Leafs. Hey, we might not get past the first round, but you know what? At least we own the Ducks, eh? They finish off the road trip in Columbus, and then they're home for a little bit. Actually, they're home for a few games. They're on the road at Utah and at Vegas, 22nd and 23rd, then the holiday break. And, oh, wait, we're coming back the following weekend against Philadelphia. And I see on December 29th, this is the first game of the season against the Edmonton Oilers. One win. We were one win away from the reverse sweep. But you know what? We still got Connor McDavid. We still have the best player on the planet, the Conn Smythe winner. We still have Leon Draisaitl. Last year we were 1 goal short. This is our year. And the Ducks are not going to stand in the way. By the way, I forgot to mention the annual Black Friday game is November 29th against the Los Angeles Kings, 12:30 start time. There's a New Year's Eve game against the New Jersey Devils. And a little bit later after that, we go all the way, really all the way, to January 11th. Now, that's in the middle of a road trip. Why do I have that game circled? Well, first off, this is in the midst of their longest road trip, and I have that Saturday, January 11th circled for a reason at Philadelphia. Boo! 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 You got what? You got Cutter Gauthier. Okay, fine. Now you're trying to match our colors? You know what? F*** you. F*** you. On that longest road trip, they have stops at Carolina, at Washington, at Tampa Bay, and then they finish the road trip Saturday, January 18th, at the defending champion Florida Panthers. We finally did it! We finally got a cup. We finally got a banner up there. How about that, guys? Oh, wait a minute. We don't have any Conn Smythe winners? And that's actually a home and home, by the way. At Florida, then at home against those same Panthers, the 18th and the 21st of January. Then on January 25th, we have our first visit against the the new look Nashville Predators. Look at all the players we got in free agency. We got Steven Stamkos. We are so back. Smashville, baby. Let's go. Immediately after that is a date with the Seattle Kraken in the Pacific Northwest, January 28th. Hey, at least we have the memory of that awesome Winter Classic and Joey. To round out that part of the schedule, it's at Calgary, then against the Habs at home, against the Dallas Stars at home, and then Saturday, February 8th is a date with the LA Kings once again. And that finishes that part of the schedule heading into the Four Nations tournament. We're going to actually take a pause, take a quick timeout right here, and, we'll talk about the rest of the schedule on the other side. And now, a brief word from the Gametime app. And folks, it is baseball season, which is in full swing. And, Gametime is the best ticket marketplace, which makes getting your tickets faster and easier. Really only 2 taps and you've got your tickets right there. They got awesome last minute deals, all in prices. Views from your seat. You can see the Angels for about $20. That's it. And also, Gametime has their lowest price guarantee. Gametime takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. You could go down the 5 freeway, see the San Diego Padres. You can go up the 5 to see the Los Angeles Dodgers. You can go way up the 5 and go visit the parks in San Francisco and Oakland if you want, or go really way up the 5 and check out the Seattle Mariners. And you can get all your tickets from the Gametime app. Just download the app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Welcome back to Locked On Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Once again, you're locked in with Jason Hernandez on episode number 901. Now, I realized that I didn't do anything special for episode number 900. I actually kind of forgot about that. But, episode 900, I had to do the second part of that draft, so nothing special there. I mean, okay, it was a special show. Like, it's always a special show every time I'm doing this. But, no big hoopla. I'm saving all the hoopla for episode number 1000. I'm saving it for that. In the meantime, let's get to the second half of the schedule. And we're going to start with that first game. Oh, that first game. It's a road trip game. February 22nd at the Garden in Boston.
Hey, buddy, go park your car in the yard. Hey, Anaheim, thanks for Max Jones, and especially thanks for Hampus Lindholm. Yeah, thanks, guys.
It's a short 3-game road trip. It finishes at Detroit and at Buffalo. So the 23rd and the 25th of February. So we're really going way out here. After that, we've got some interesting games. The Blackhawks come to the Ducks on March 1st. At Edmonton and at Vancouver on March 4th and 5th. That'll be an interesting little mini road trip there. Then a 3-game homestand. This is kind of an interesting one. March 7th, St. Louis. March 9th, the Isles. March 11th. Now this one's going to be interesting for a very specific reason, but Tuesday, March 11th, the Washington Capitals come to town. OV watch. OV watch. OV watch. He's getting close, right? He's getting really close. Let's go. Yeah, OV watch indeed. Rounding out the schedule, just to get to the rest of the games, at Utah, March 12th, against the Preds, March 14th, at St. Louis on March 16th, at Dallas, March 18th, at Nashville, again, March 20th. Then another homestand, starting on the 23rd of March against Carolina, then Boston, then the Rangers, and then March 30th against the Maple Leafs, and then April Fool's Day against the San Jose Sharks. Then April 3rd, another short Canadian road trip. That short road trip begins at the Calgary Flames.
Boo! Boo, Ducks! You know what? We might not have the best team, but you know what? We still love Calgary. Yeah.
Let's finish off the schedule. April 5th at Vancouver. April 7th against the Edmonton Oilers. April 9th against the Calgary Flames. April 10th at the Los Angeles Kings. April 13th against the Colorado Avs. April 15th at the Minnesota Wild. And April 16th at the Winnipeg Jets. So I kind of gave you most of the highlights of this Ducks schedule and tried to highlight a few of the games that interest me. And, it's going to be a fun season. It's always fun checking out all other 31 teams. The schedule has been released on the Ducks website, so check it out there. I hope you guys enjoyed somewhat of a schedule release video. I mean, the Ducks didn't do one. I thought, I have all those jerseys. May as well use them. May as well wear them at least once, right? All right, we're going to head to the second intermission and talk about the schedule just as a whole in general. Stay locked in. Welcome back to Locked On Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Once again, you are locked in with Jason J.D. Hernandez. All right, let's break down this schedule really fast. So I did talk about that March game. Yes, Alex Ovechkin is inching ever so closer to that all-time scoring record. Now, it should be pointed out that Alex Ovechkin did kind of have a somewhat down year this year, but last season, he put up 31 goals. Not his best. In fact, that's his career worst. So he is, or actually almost his career worst. The 2021 season, I kind of don't count that one because that was a shortened season, but still a career worst as far as goals per game. He is slowing down a little bit. I mean, he is entering his age 39 season. He's entering his 20th season in the National Hockey League. He's got a lot of miles behind him. And he's not that far behind, to be honest. If he has a resurgence of a season, then you could see that game at home against Washington become very, very important. As of right now, Alex Ovechkin has 853 goals, 41 behind the great one, Wayne Gretzky. It's possible he could get 41 goals this season. It is possible. But if he doesn't, then we'll look to the following season. I think that would be his last year on contract. And then after that, he might retire. But he has played for 19 going on 20 seasons. So that's going to be an important game just for a milestone watch. Let's go through some of the other ins and outs of this. The freeway face-off, I mentioned October 20th. Then the Black Friday game on November 29th. Then February 8th at Staples. And then April 10th at Staples Center. So that's going to be kind of fun to watch. The home opener against the Utah Hockey Club. This will be the first time we see the road or see those jerseys for the Utah Hockey Club. I know that that's the Arizona Coyotes in disguise. A lot of those players have left. In fact, a lot of folks that used to be on the Coyotes have left. So maybe the rivalry isn't as strong as it once was, but it's still always a fun matchup between those two teams. And by fun, I mean it can get violent. But we'll see how that one goes. I'm trying to look at the longest road trips here. I think I mentioned the longest road trip was that 5-gamer. There's not a whole lot of long road trips this year. There really isn't. I mean, just doing a quick glance, you have that 4-game road trip at the start of the season. You have a 2-gamer. You've got the 4-gamer, the Canadian one, around the holidays. That one's a decent-sized road trip. After that, you've got a 6-gamer. That's the longest road trip, is that 6-gamer right after the New Year. At St. Louis, at Philadelphia, at Carolina, at Washington, at Tampa Bay, at Florida. So that 6-game road trip is, in fact, the longest one. That's not as bad as some that we've seen in the past. I mean, yeah, we've seen some 7s. We've seen a couple of 8-game road trips in the recent past. 6 games, not that bad. If that's your longest road trip, that's fine. Other long road trips, you've got that 4-gamer, actually a 3-gamer after the Four Nations tournament. So that one's not too bad. After that, I mean, there's another 3-gamer, St. Louis, Dallas, Nashville. That one's not bad. Yeah, this schedule is not bad. It's really not. The Ducks are bound to improve this season. The schedule is a little bit easier on them in general this year. Yes, there is that long layoff for the Four Nations tournament, and I think that'll lead right into the trade deadline, which is just after the Four Nations tournament. So there's still a lot to unravel here. But overall, I'm fine with this schedule. It's not bad. I mean, we'll see how the Ducks do on the ice. That's the most important thing, is how the Ducks play on the ice. At least they start off easy with the game at the San Jose Sharks. The key for the Ducks is to get some of those easy victories out of the way and beat some of those quote-unquote lesser teams at the start of the season. At San Jose, that's a lesser team. Against Utah, I mean, Utah did do well in free agency and the draft. That game against the Kings, the first one, the Kings may have gotten worse this offseason. And I don't know if they make the playoffs, but that's a prediction like way far off. The Kings are going to be weaker. We'll see if the Ducks can overtake them. Then another date against San Jose. That's going to be important to get some key wins in those first 5, 6, 7 games. And if they can do that, you never know. They could build confidence. All right. I think that's going to do it for this podcast. Once again, thank you all for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, this podcast is free and available across all platforms, including Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts. You can follow me on Twitter X at StimpyJD. The show's Twitter X is at LO_Ducks. You could email me at lockedonanaheimducks@gmail.com. And I know it wasn't like a complete schedule breakdown, but I try to have a little bit of fun here and try to highlight at least some of the games y'all should be watching. Once again, thank you all for your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. For Locked On Anaheim Ducks, this is Jason J.D. Hernandez reminding you to please be safe out there during this holiday. Just be kind to one another, and Ducks fly together.